back to another episode of Maxwell Starr's beer review. Tonight we're going to take a look at a beer that was graciously donated, or rather sent in a beer trade, from Guy of BeerGuy Reviews up in Ontario. Going to take a look at a beer from Quebec, Saint Jérôme, Quebec to be accurate. This is from Brasserie Dieu, Blanche de Paradis, a wheat beer brewed with spices. This is Ciel's answer to a Witbier, much like Hoegaarden. That's about all I know of it. Let me read the French here. La Blanche de Paradis est une Blanche-style Belge, Belgian white, avec coriander, escorces de Blanche, so like Curacao orange. It's not filtered. Malt, I think that means pale malt. Aromas de pain, like bready. There's savors of vegetables and spices. The subtle notes of the acidity part of wheat, I think, is what it means. Right. Ugh. Cool. So yeah, it's quite exciting to get a chance to try this. Heist Almighty had this for a while ago, but we didn't review it. And I think it was because he was saving it for his wife, and you got to taste a bit of it then. So I've kind of been left hanging on my own until Guy showed up and came to my rescue and delivered this lovely beer to me. So now, I like my wit beers. I've been really looking forward to trying this one. So thanks, Guy, for sending me this one. And pop it open here. Got the usual, like the angel kind of logo on the cap. Now, Dieu de Ciel means, I think it means God of Sky. Think. Cool, so let's get a report here. 5.5% ABV. I think that's in the same ballpark as Hoegaarden. One thing I'm really noticing there, that's not very filtered. That's filtered. Oh, there it goes. Oh, gross. It was all at the bottom. I think this was stored upright in my fridge for the entire time. I've had this since February, I think, and he got it in December. And it's now May when I'm reviewing this. And it poured absolutely clear right up until the last bit of the bottle went. So it was like Stifler's Pale Ale kind of thing going on here. It's kind of, oh man. And there's like even more crud at the bottom. Look at that. Now for a wheat beer, I'm noticing there's not a lot of head poured in there. There's not a lot of head on that one. Look at that. It just sort of cleared up on the top. I can see right into the beer. Say whether that's disappointing or not, or mainly the thing I gotta say about that one is that it could be that I just didn't pour it aggressively enough. Whatever. Some people don't give a shit about head on their beers. I like it a little for the aesthetics, but it's not a huge deal. So let's give it a sniff. It looks good, so let's give it a sniff. A nice lightly sweet orange. It's very faint. Just a sec. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't want to sneeze on camera. Anyway, let's go back to the sniffing. So it comes off with a little bit of like a sweet, light orange. Very faint. Maybe a hint of banana in there. And that orange character has kind of got like this, a little bit like a sweet, like what I mean by sweet orange is kind of like a Kool-Aid-y or Orange Julius kind of orange quality. It's like orange drink instead of orange juice. So it's very light, but I'm not really getting a whole lot of smell off of this. From the smell, I can't make out any of the coriander. You know what? That could bode well, because too much coriander can be too much of a bad thing. So let's put this thing down the hatch. Oh, there's the coriander. It's very light. It's got that very kind of like a light, gritty kind of flavor. Not gritty mouthfeel, but a gritty kind of flavor that the wheat implies. A very light orange citrus. Bordering this time on orange juice. Like there is a little bit of that sweet orange character from the Curacao oranges, but it's skews off into the orange juice character, where it's got this slightly tannic kind of quality to it. A little bit of like an acidity to it. The coriander is there, but it's not omnipresent throughout the beer. It's not as strong a coriander note as what's in Rickard's White. It's actually a fairly faint coriander. In the back, it comes off with this like an herbal, earthy kind of bitterness. It's perhaps maybe a little bit more herbal bitterness than a typical wit beer would have. But nonetheless, it's actually fairly fitting towards the style. As far as mouthfeel, it's a little thicker, and it also sits, like it's a little thicker, it sits kind of heavy, and it's also not dry. It's very soggy at the end. I mean, there's plenty of sugars evaporated in this. There's not a lot of sweet left. But it leaves your mouth wet. And while it's good, it's not the best wit beer I've ever had. Honestly, Hoegaarden actually comes close to that title. It's not bad. It's probably not on as high a pedestal I was expecting to put this on for Dieu Ciel product. But I'm very much thankful for getting a chance to try this anyway. I think I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. It's good. It's not world class or anything, but it's definitely a good beer. And I will certainly enjoy drinking this. And on a hot day, I could see this being somewhat refreshing, but not quite as refreshing as a Hoegaarden or as some kind of another kind of wit beer would taste, like a Unibrew Blanche de Chamblay or something. But it's good. Recommend it. Yeah, I think Ray Unibrew does it slightly better. Anyway, do pick it up if you do see it. If you want to give it a try, because it sounds kind of good. Thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer reviews, and thanks to Guy for sending me this particular beer. I did enjoy it. And we will talk to you folks later. Cheers!